when I first got on the planning commission, there was a farm on Airport Road, and they were subdividing lots off of frontage. And, to gain access to the rest of the property, they designated right-of-ways between lots to go to that property.
Like a flagpole?
No, it was a large block of acreage. So
Okay.
they had two, might have been 40-foot easement, should have 40 or 50-foot easements to go off into that acreage. And I guess the farmer died in the state, and they came before us. And me and my archaic minutes, I said, what year did this and that? And I flipped it over, and I had the drawing there and the whole bit, so, to clarify, and it was just because it was an estate deal.
Okay. So at this point,
But this looks similar to what transpired over time. But this very still, I couldn't read that map, but up here.
It does say, that blurb there, we were able to pull it up on Lori's phone and enlarge it. It does say Mary and Steve Parrish Jr.
Across the street.
and the
Up in
parcel
here.
number
Okay,
is there.
okay.
so at this point, I think my overall recommendation holds. I would recommend that we table the plan at tonight's meeting and allow the surveyor to have a little more time to successfully address, not only the questions in this letter, but the questions that the board has. And then, it would be on the agenda in May for approval after we've had some time to get our questions answered and get signatures and that sort of thing.
And they would provide updated,
They would provide
okay.
a revised drawing that addresses everything.
How are they intending to get onto this property if they extinguish the 40-foot easement?
Which one are you looking at?
Oh, no,
The missionary partners, since this is the easement, which it looks like for them to access the property initially. Now that this has been extinguished, how are they getting onto this property? I mean,
well, that was
Well,
just,
this triangle would become theirs.
correct,
So they
but,
have this
so this is their
whole
front,
swath.
yeah.
but this is their
frontage.
frontage to get onto this property.
That's right.
It used to come from here, they would come
Correct,
up here and
that's
come
right,
up
that's a
this
good
way,
point, yes.
but there's no access
Yeah.
road, there's no
They only have this
roadway.
little tiny.
I know, they're not
sliver.
gonna have that, so this is gone, this is all gone. This is just a parcel now, there's no driveway, there's no,
Yeah.
Well,
They're
that's
nothing.
why you need consent from all three parties.
Yeah, is there a
I'm
driveway?
just wondering if they were
Right.
gonna, I mean, that's probably not for today, but they don't have drive access.
Yeah, do they have a viable means to access their parcel?
They certainly
Good
probably
question.
could with the appropriate permits and things, they would be able to put that in,
Well,
but they don't
probably
have
common.
that.
I have a question. So
Sure.
Missionary and Hutchison, how are they tied into Tomko?
Is it missionary Tomko?
Or whatever it is.
Missionary is
That's
Tomko.
what I
It
was
is
going
Tomko.
to say.
I think I looked that up.
Hutchin and
Yeah.
Missionary Partners, if that's Tomko, Tomko owns
All
everything
that.
else.
Yeah,
all the rest of
Tomko
the
owns,
blues.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
So,
technically, he doesn't need to have access on Airport Road
Well,
because
that's
he
why
can come in this way.
Well, then, what's that on that map is changed because Mary Parrish is dead. Okay, so, that drawing needs to be upgraded correctly as to who is the present owner.
The owner.
I think it does, it's
Well,
the
it
Stephen and
is,
Mary.
it is Mary, his
it's-
wife's name, Steve's
Steve's
wife's
wife's
name.
name.
His wife was
okay.
Mary and
Yeah,
the mother was Mary.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Who makes it
Mary.
just saw Mary last night.
Yeah, okay.
And then would they have to provide something saying they're giving up that easement?
I think it should be
That'll be-
explained on the drawing.
It'll be in the drawing, and then they should have it in their deeds when they redo the deed.
Okay.
And everybody would consent to that.
Well,
By
signing the drawing,
other
they're
factor
consenting
is
to
not
it.
being
Okay,
shown
so-
here.
Right.
If this large parcel has an access point elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, it's not for me to say that you guys should deny it necessarily just because of that. I just was curious, cause I don't know the rest of the parcel,
Well,
where
neither
it
do
was.
I at
Oh,
the
okay.
present time. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, that's,
It's not conveyed there, or shown there.
it
And
appears
if-
as though if they
If you
did
or I were looking at it and no knowledge of it would look like we're permitting a landlocked parcel, which would,
well, we don't landlock it, they'll just need to get a permit to have a driveway put in, basically, if there's no other access points anywhere else on the
Right,
property,
but-
that's all.
okay.
Since it is all one parcel at this point, this is all one parcel now.
Well, remember, he has access from
He may
behind
have it
his
at a
building.
different,
You know,
at a different
he,
point
he
somewhere.
owns everything from behind his building up to the runway up at the airport.
So then Mary Perry.
So he
Steve
can get
Perry,
They
access.
probably can get access.
That's
Yeah,
an
well, they've
that's an
actually,
incorrect designation.
I was gonna say mined it, but they've taken all the rock and
Yeah.
over.
A mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Illegally.
It is a mine.
Mhm.
It's regulated.
It is.
Either way, the maps are be upgraded.
Okay, so TJ recommends tabling, so what do we want from them? We
Well-
want property owner signatures.
Yeah, I think, you know, we got their response letter here at 4:30 or whatever time it came in, so I think, you know, we wanna have a chance to review that as a group and assure that the comments in this letter have been addressed, and if they have not been, then we would follow up with
Well,
a follow-up
So
letter.
that we can basically say, for tabling it, that we have not had enough time to review the rebuttal that was sent.
Yeah.
That'll be easier than pointing out every single item.
Sure, I think you
Okay.
could say just as simply as, you know, we're gonna table it tonight pending the resolution of the comments from the April 12th letter.
well, the other factor is unless it's changed, if all information is not here 10 days prior to our meeting, it's tabled.
Correct. Good point, John.
And on this drawing then, would parishes have to sign off on this drawing?
No, they
No.
wouldn't, they're not involved in any, transfer of property, so
Okay, so,
I don't
no.
believe they would. It's just good practice to, anybody who's touching any parcel that's
So that would-
shown on the drawing should be labeled.
So that would be Hutchinson, Missionary Partners, and
Yes.
EQT.
Hmm?
Because EQT has their
they have
pipeline running right up.
Not really.
Well, that's not their property, they just,
No.
they just have a, they have right away.
Then it would have to, then it would be the
It
Lippers
would be
then?
the Lippers.
Okay.
It would be the Lippers, it would be the Envision,
EQT are the guys that are designated right away.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter what you build, you just can't build upon it.
I think that's right.
Do you need to put in there that signatures by all three parties? I don't know if you did that yet or not.
I was just going to, basically
Because that's really
go
not.
by a table, that we're gonna table pending the resolution
Okay.
of the comments on the letter, which would cover, then TJ can go back and say, this is what we want, or this is
Okay.
what we still don't have from you.
So our office would review their response that came in today in full detail and then issue a subsequent letter that says, okay, here's the comments that remain, or everything's been addressed and we can proceed.
And as we've discussed, as we're discussing, then if there's any other issues, then TJ, as they review it, TJ said, well, wait, we wanna look at this too.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That'll make it easier than me pointing each.
Understand.
Having a blanket statement's gonna be easier than
Individual.
line item and then
Item.
miss something. Alright, so, any other discussion, questions?
I make a motion at this point in time to table the discussion of the, is there a project name for this?
Yeah, Hutchinson and Missionary Partners.
To table the Hutchinson. And Missionary Partner subdivision. Pending. TJ, pending further,
Pending the resolution of the
okay.
comments from the April 12th, 2023 letter.
April 13th.
Yes. Sure.
Harold, isn't that RD, the zoning on that?
Part of it's RD, so.
Their response,
Part of it's
yeah.
RD, part of it's commercial, isn't it? Split.
Well, it's on Airport Road, there's commercial, residential. I don't know what has changed or hasn't changed.
My last look at it would be RD and commercial.
Commercial on the corner?
I think the 99-acre piece is a split zoning. I think part of it's commercial and part of it's
Sure, yeah.
residential.
That's very possible.
I'd have to double check that. That's why we asked him to label it.
It's a good color.
Okay.
Need a second.
Second? I'll second.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? I feel like I'm talking to my husband. Roll call. John,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Darla. Yes.